Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Positive EV podcast. My name is Fracus the Third, and joining me today is Roadrunner. How you doing today, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not bad. So, Roadrunner, tell me, who? Not many people would know who you are in the server. Who are you?
I'm just a regular guy who likes Steam investing, and that's basically it.
Just
It's
pretty
just a
much.
small hobby that somehow turned out pretty profitable over the years.
Oh, nice. So, how long have you been? How long have you been investing for?
Investing since 2013, I would say, but trading a few years more than that. I've actually started doing trading before I even knew Steam existed. Yeah, so when I was still in Russia, I used to buy like these trading cards.
Yep.
Not the Pokemon or anything like that, but we had those like I assume bootleg Spider-Man trading cards, and I used to go around school and try to sell them to kids for real money. And that's kind of how I started my trading experience.
Nice, nice. Started at a young age, hey?
Yeah.
Got into it. So, what was your path through like CS?
I actually started in TF2. I assume many people did too back then because that was the only economy around.
Yeah, did you
So
listen
in
to?
2011 I saw that well TF2 existed, got me interested, and in that year in 2011 the My Economy update came out that added crates and basic trading functionality.
Yeah.
So I started trading out for some weapons here and there. In about 2012, I saved up some lunch money, about $13 back then, and decided to buy some refined metal, which is a currency in TF2.
Nice.
Started trading for some stat track weapons here and there.
That sounds very similar to how Ducky sort of started out. He started with a bit of metal from TF2.
Yeah, I was actually listening to that episode. It really hit home.
The similarities in some of the longer term investors, hey?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was just doing small scale trading until I grew some small capital, got into unusuals, which is the equal of CS:GO knives.
Yep.
Started doing quick buying, a few keys profit here and there, until about early 2015, when the Catalyst 2015 came around. I got into CS:GO in early 2014 around Operation Phoenix, but wasn't doing any investment really. I bought a few Cologne 14 capsules, but didn't make that much. Maybe like $100 at most.
Oh,
But 2015 is when it really took off.
was 2015 your big like investment year?
Yeah, I used to trade mostly in TF2, but as Valve started adding all those, authentications, confirmations, 7-day locks, it became too annoying to bother, so I just decided to go all in on investing. Much less stress.
Nice, nice. So, anyone that is first time listening in live, feel free to ping me in the chat, in the podcast chat, and we'll see if we can answer any of your questions as we get round to them. Sorry, just had to pop that in. Um, so, with your with your investing, have you mostly stayed with virtual items like TF2 and CS?
Yeah, I'm honestly not interested in either stocks or crypto, but that's just me.
That's
I
just you.
do this because it's around revolves around the games I love.
Yeah, and you've got developed quite a passion for Counter Strike over the years.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you a global elite investor, or like me? Not
No, I don't
gotten
play
over.
enough to be global elite. I can't really be bothered, honestly. I was around Legendary Eagle back then, but I don't take this game too seriously.
Nah, you can't nowadays with everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
Um, with investing, what have you found to be like not necessarily the best investment, but the best way to look at an investment in Counter Strike?
I don't know if this works for most people. I know in stock markets sometimes if you make like 15% a year in a stock, it's good, but I always look for something that will make me 250% in a year. So if I sell it on Steam market, I'll get like double after the fees. That's how I always look at it.
Wow. Okay. So, uh, for people that are starting to invest, what what are your recommendations for them? Because I have my thoughts on recommendations if they have a few, um, if they have a few hundred, couple $100, even $20, $50, $100. I've got my own ideas for people starting. What is your like starting off investment? If you were to start now, what would you choose?
Definitely do a lot of research and observe the market. And it's okay if you make the wrong decision. It's all part of the experience. I made bad decisions. I lost thousands of dollars on some bad investments, but it's okay. I learned important lessons.
Oh, really? What's been your biggest loss, if I may ask?
Oh, H1Z1 and PUBG.
Oh,
I
that
don't trust
already
any
sounds
games that are not Valve anymore.
that already sounds bad. I know people have been burnt real bad on
Yep.
on those games. Oh, yeah, they've been quite
I
negative.
saw a question in the chat from Houston. They say they're talking about me selling my Spectrum cases for 40 cents back in February, and if I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fine. I'm usually the kind of investor who doesn't hold one thing too long. I would like sells. Even if I know it'll keep go up in the future, I'll still sell it anyway and buy something that I think will bring a better return. Like,
So so
I
you're almost like
didn't
a trader.
expect the cases to blow up this much earlier this year, but I don't regret my decision.
No, you had a profit target in mind. You met it, and you sold, and you're happy.
Yeah. Well, 40 cents back then. Right now they're what, 80 cents, so they doubled. If I sold that case, for example, and bought operation skins, which did triple by now, I technically did make a better return. So that's fine by me.
Yeah. What? So we've just spoken about your worst. What's been your best investment so far?
Back then, definitely Karu 2015 because that would really help me take off. I had around $300 capital, and in about a few months after Karu 15, I made $900 and
That
almost quadrupled my capital basically.
that's not
And
bad.
that really helped me
Did,
move more money around.
so did you like cash out along the way, or did you have you had any like larger cash outs, or do you just sort of reinvest everything?
Oh yeah, I did. Last year we had this crazy sticker hype in July, I'm sure everybody knows. And that helped me cash out about $20,000.
20,000. That's almost enough to make a living off of in some countries.
Yeah, I actually managed to pay off a lot of my college loan with that money.
Nice, nice. What did you study at college, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I actually found like a private college that specializes in game design and programming. So my major was game design engineering. I was
Nice.
always interested in level design. It's my hobby and I've been doing it since 2014.
Have you done any like map making for CS?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been really into zombie escape mods, so I was doing zombie escape maps since 2014.
Nice. That would be awesome fun.
Yeah.
I have to see if we can drag up any of the old maps and give them a play. So looking through, there's a couple of people asking questions. There's someone asking a question for us about opinions on autograph capsules as investments. That brings me to an interesting point. If you look up the EV guide, let's look up EV. Let's one moment. If I bring up the capsule EV guide that's
Yeah,
made
I
by
have it
Outsource.
bookmarked in
Yeah.
Chrome.
So for everyone else in the chat, I've just put the command in. Uh, you will see our. You'll also see our EV highest EV capsule of the week that is not an autograph capsule, which is still the DreamHack Cluj Nakopa. I don't think that updated since we've last done the podcast, but that's okay. Uh, you'll see the autograph capsules will have a higher AV. The problem with those is that they change so frequently. The AV in those changes so fast that you have to play that game very, very carefully. What about? Do you invest in the autograph capsules? Because I guess if you've got so much capital, you invest in a bit of everything.
Yeah, I like to diversify.
Yeah,
And yeah, I have a lot of Krakow capsules, the autograph ones.
nice. I think I've got like two Krakow capsules and like one Atlanta. I'm still quite quite a baby when it comes to all this investing. Uh, Question from Fate off Rin. The What is EV? So the title of this podcast is positive EV. So EV is the expected value of when you open a capsule or case. So if I spend $100 on opening capsules, how much money do I expect to make back? Most of the time, it's negative. Most of the time, you're looking at between 30 and 80%, depending on the case or capsule. And very rarely, we get positive EV, which is the dream, where you can just open everything. It's great. Now,
I've seen another question from Azure about the research that I suggested doing and what are important things to research for.
yes,
The first thing definitely would how each type of item works, like how does Valve introduce or operate a certain type of items, tournament stickers, for example. Like those come and go. They add them in a major, they stay around for a month or two, go on sale at the end of major, and then they're gone. Cases, they add them like every 3 or 4 months, but it's changed over the years with Operation Shadow Web, where Operation Cases just get discontinued completely now, not even a rare drop pool. Just basically get the understanding of how each type of item works in this ecosystem, how Valve tends to behave with them. What
yeah,
do they discontinue? What would they bring back?
yeah. Trying
And
to
then just
guess
see how the
that.
market works, I guess.
Yeah, I've noticed that trying to guess Valve is a very tricky thing to do because they'll hit
Yeah,
you
this
with
year has been quite interesting.
yeah, they'll hit you with stuff out of the blue, which is quite feral. Something I myself noticed was uh, I was an early buyer into like CS20, where I was buying in at 6 cents Australian or something like that, something really really cheap, and it's now picked all the way up to 30 Australian cents. So I might even just sell that position and move it into something else. It's been an amazing turn of investment for me. That's probably my first milestone that I've kind of hit, is having a decent proportional investment make me quite a bit of money. Uh, do you have any particular milestones that you can remember that were very impactful on your investing path?
Yeah, I remember first reaching $10,000, and that was a really big deal for me. Felt like a big step. That happened around 2018 because I had a lot of Boston stickers, just paper team stickers, and they did really well in about a year and a half.
Nice. Paper Boston stickers. Wow, they were they would have been really really profitable at the time.
Yeah, I remember buying some papers for like 20 cents or less.
And I'm excited to see how RMR performs, because the application rate of these stickers is just through the roof.
Oh
Like,
God, I hate RMR, honestly.
just because
I
there's so
didn't
much
touch
of
it
it,
whatsoever. Didn't buy a single capsule. No regrets.
didn't even.
Like I've had plans during operation to buy some things, but then RMR happened and a lot of items dipped in price, which I invested, and it's okay, but I really was like looking to buy the lowest point during the operation, and then RMR comes around and just screws me over.
And was that sort of negative sentiment? Uh, something that aided your decision in not investing into RMR?
It was also Berlin because you know how remember 2019 the Berlin ended and it was just so
Ooh, yep.
overinvested, the prices tanked, which
Yep.
is fair enough. But then the COVID came around and in about a year Berlin started to explode. Then the sticker hype in July and all the people who invested in Berlin back then now felt like they made a good decision without realizing that they got incredibly lucky with COVID and three major cancellations. And
Survivorship
so going
bias.
into RMI was clear to me it was going to be horribly overinvested. The supply would be massive on the market, which
Yeah.
we saw with the amount of paper stickers being pumped.
Yeah, the survivorship bias was definitely real with Boston. They well, Berlin, sorry, everyone made money, so it can't have been bad. Nothing's ever overinvested.
Yeah, I've stopped really investing in majors after Boston, or London rather, and I started looking for more niche things. For example, Karo 19 added the viewer pass, which people completely overlooked back then. It had like only 300 listings, even after its short 3-day sale. So I bought 90 of them, and
Wow.
they're doing really well since then.
What are you up on those now?
I still have about 20 left, but I bought them for about $8 each, and now they're like 50 or something.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been slowly selling them over the years.
Yeah. I guess it's hard to move large positions without
Yeah,
tanking a market.
yeah, it's not a liquid item at all.
Not like, oh, actually, speaking of liquid items, what have you found to be the best liquid item for cashing out CS items or anything really?
Definitely skins, I would say.
Particular ones
But
like,
I never cashed out through CSGO actually. Back in 2020, there was a TF2 site for cash out, marketplace.tf, and you could get a much better cash out rates there. If you knew which items to sell there, you could get like 85 or even 90% back. So I would just
geez,
sell all my CSGO items, buy TF2 keys, like specific TF2 case keys, and sell them there for 250 or even 260 in cash and
that's
get
all
like
right.
240 after fees,
That's
anywhere
really good.
between 2 to 240. Yeah, but unfortunately that site shut down last December, so now I'll have to figure out how to do this through CSGO.
I've started using Skinport myself, just because I can't get any money out of Buff. I'll get my stuff off of Buff and then sell elsewhere. Um, so going through a couple more of these questions, I'll go with Cal Ross's question first. Uh, is the summer sticker hype over earlier this year than last, or can we still see more hype in July?
Well, I hope so, because I was gonna sell a bunch.
Yeah, I would
Like
like.
last year, the Kato 19 foil autographs exploded, and I still have a lot left, so it would be nice to get some cash on my Steam wallet with those.
Yeah, I would very
But it
much.
looks like things are slowing down, which is fine.
I would very much like more sticker hype to continue.
Yeah,
Um, be able to sell like I've got my Cato 15 Titans that are the Titan papers. I'd like to sell those for around 800 RMB. That'd be nice if I could get a hype in July to get there. That's my personal goal for that sticker. Um, so Jeho, we did already discuss that question about how much Roadrunner started with, um, but we didn't ask when did you hit your $50,000 milestone?
it was actually last year during the sticker hype.
Really? And that 20, yeah, that makes it a year ago. That's when you sort of cashed out, didn't it?
Yep,
That was when that first $20,000 cash out happened, and you got to pay off those loans. Man, that's a really big accomplishment. That's something to be proud of. Be able to use your
yeah.
investments to actually pay for something.
Yeah, it's such a relief too. I hate having all these loans hanging above me, just thinking about them constantly, that you owe money to somebody. It's
Yeah.
it's stressful. A question from RageFD about noticing any potential future movements from Valve. Yeah, actually, besides just investing, I do a lot of like data mining of CS:GO updates. And sometime around October last year, like I started seeing strings related to your next operation popping up in the code. So as the days went, it became more clear that they're definitely preparing something. Like you would see a string pop up about missions, and then another one in the next update. So like the tension started to grow, and then they became like teasing on Twitter, like you know how they are. They say something funny or something mysterious.
Or they change their profile picture to something
Yeah,
dumb. They're almost as bad as Meester with his puzzles.
yeah. And then on Monday before the operation, they actually a new DLC showed up for CS:GO, and I instantly was like, yep, that's definitely an operation pass. It's coming. And from
Nice.
the past experience, when they add a new DLC to CS:GO, it goes public within a week. So I knew Operation was pretty much going to come that week.
Nice.
And I got my money ready because I know a lot of items are going to dip in price when the new pass comes around. And I bought a lot of things that week.
Nice. That's all.
So yeah, you can definitely predict what Valve is going to do sometimes.
You just have to put the work in. You can't just expect it to fall in your lap, though.
Yeah, it's almost an obsession for me. I data mine a lot of Valve games. I pay very close attention to what they're doing. I guess that's what you have to do if you want to succeed. You gotta be up to date with all the current news, public or not. You gotta
Yeah.
find those clues sometimes, go out of your way.
And that can lead you to making a lot of money if you're the one that finds this little nugget.
Yeah, it was the same thing before Shadow Web actually. Like at that time it was almost 2 years of that operation. I guess a lot of people just gave up on the concept of operations ever happening again. But actually, the day Berlin came out and they got that new store system with tokens, they leaked a whole file for Operation Store that
Wow.
mentioned stars.
Ooh, I did not know that. Yeah, I didn't know that at all. That's a really good find if you managed to get that all the way back then.
Yeah, that was definitely a sign they were gonna make something. And then after that, the new code started popping up for co-op missions, garden missions. It was clear that they had something in the works.
So what's your strategy at that point? When you find those things, do you sell your items that you know are going to dip in price, or do you just add more capital? How do you go about this?
Well, when the Persian comes, that dip is temporary because everyone sells stuff to buy the pass. They're just gonna go up in the long term regardless. I
Mm,
guess stuff like old cases, for example.
yeah,
And one interesting thing I wanted to mention that nobody really noticed back then, when they added the operation, they we had this new system where you get a random collection skin.
yeah,
And the way it works in the game, it's actually called a self-opening crate. So when you redeem a skin, you technically open an invisible crate.
okay.
And what's an interesting thing, well, obviously they added Norse, Canal, Saint Mark, the crates,
Hmm.
technically, but they also had unused self-opening crates for 6 old collections, which are Chop and Shop, Cobble, etc. So what that tells me, if for some reason they didn't manage to make those new skins in time, they were going to use the old skins just to make the deadline and release Operation on time.
Wow, that is very handy with the data mining.
Yeah, but that's because they outsourced those skin collections to community. For Broken Fang, they made those skins themselves.
Yeah. Uh,
I was hesitant to invest in like Cobble skins because what if they were gonna reuse them? Because this looks suspicious. Why would they have these self-opening crates for them?
yeah,
But I
that
their backup plan.
I guess having more Dragon Laws is always a good backup plan for Valve. People would flock to them.
Yeah.
The high end people would probably be quite upset, but all us, all the people that don't have as much money would be going straight for those collections so fast. Um, a question from Contrua. So, what's our preferred style investing now that you've got a larger portfolio in CS? Are you going for individual higher tier items, or are you going for more like cases of capsules, lots of the lower grade stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I still do that. I mostly go for something that's consumable, but I've started investing in operation skins, especially this operation. I bought a lot of Havoc and Ancient skins.
Yeah, I've got a few like FN Bengal Tigers, um, and I managed to open a purple ancient skin. I got the USP. I was very happy with that. That
Nice.
I've managed to hold on to that now, and it's gone up an extra 50% from when the operation ended.
Yeah, I actually bought our Ancient skins knowing very well that they were gonna add the map to active duty. Like again, if you look at their past behavior, just look at how they brought back Vertigo. So it was the map that was completely removed from the game since 2017, I think. Then they bring it back in a remake. They tested in Wingman in some other game mode for like a month or two. They
Yeah,
keep like updating it, changing the bomb sites, and then they bring it to competitive, and then they make it active duty. And then you look at how they bring Ancient. Ancient was actually supposed to be Aztec remake. If
yeah.
you look at the files,
There's so
all
many.
the assets for it were called like high resolution Aztec, Aztec 2. So again, similar behavior here. They add a new map. They test it in different game modes, this time retakes.
Yeah,
They keep updating it, and then the end of operation, guess what? It becomes active duty. I actually mentioned in our funny channel, funny secret channel back in January that I think they're gonna add it to active duty, and yeah, it happened.
yeah,
And I bought these skins knowing very well that yes, they're gonna be souvenirs. Yes, they're coming back, and that's okay. Because souvenirs cannot be traded up, and I bought the ancient skins mostly because of their trade up value.
yeah. The I just speaking about the maps themselves for a minute. I actually just really like Ancient as a map. People trash on it at the moment, but people also trash on Overpass, uh, and that map has changed significantly over time.
Yeah, I wasn't around to play the first iterations on it, but it's my favorite map in the game.
I saw some recent iterations, some old iterations, and it was just an absolute maze, and people hated it. But now I mean, it's one of the most iconic maps in CS. Alongside
Yeah,
that,
I think they can make Ancient a good map. I'm actually happy just from viewer perspective because
to have
watching
something new.
esports got so stale, same seven maps. I really like that Valve is bringing something new. Even
Yeah,
if community doesn't like it, I think they can make it good.
yeah, I think so. Um, something. Do you do you invest into the team patches as well? Something that I've mentioned, people mentioning the
Team patches, no, because it feels like every time a new feature comes to major items, it's always over invested. Like look at the first time they added autograph capsules, Cologne 2015.
mm.
I remember they were super over invested, and I actually made the mistake in buying those, and it didn't pan out well. Then we had graffitis in Atlanta. Those also were over invested and didn't do well for quite a long time. And I
Looking
think
at
the same is gonna
outsourced.
happen to team patches.
Are there team patches now, or is it just the general like operation patches?
When they first added patches, there were hints in the files for team patches. The same thing happened when they first added graffitis.
Yep.
There are like strings in the localization file that mentioned major patches. No, sorry, major graffitis. And then guess what? Next major in Atlanta, they added graffitis. So they're
Ah,
definitely gonna add team patches, 100%.
nice, but they're not quite as consumable as skins or
Yeah, the
capsules.
problem is there's a lot less agents on there, less demand for agents.
Yeah.
So I don't see demand keeping up with the supply because people definitely go over and over invest into this new shiny feature. So I'm staying away from those.
Yeah. Um, a question from Jeho is have when we were talking about investing in the latest operation skins, we never talked about control. My viewpoint on control is that everybody bought it because there was an AWP fade. AWP
Yeah,
fade is an overrated skin that shouldn't
I
have been
agree.
red.
I love Fate, but the op should not have been a red.
No, it would have been a perfectly fine pink tier skin, Would have been absolutely fine.
Yeah, just like Silk Tiger.
Yeah, Silk Tiger deserves to be a red more than the Fade. That's my controversial opinion for everyone to
It's
yell at
kind
me
of sad
about.
they didn't add the case hardened M4A1 to control. They were supposed to. Like, there was a promo image in the email for Operation,
Oh,
and
really?
instead of blue phosphor, it featured case hardened M4A1S.
Wow, that would have been.
So they cut it last minute.
Ooh, that would have
That sucks.
ruffled some feathers. But that may be
Yep,
coming
I
from.
definitely would love to see that one instead.
That
But blue
would.
phosphor is still cool.
Yeah, that'll probably be coming then in another future update if they've already got the skin planned.
I hope so.
That'd be very nice. That would be very, very nice.
Yeah, and actually the Havoc and Ancient, I bought mostly factory new consumers and industrials, and they definitely brought a higher rate of return so far than Control.
Yeah, I think I got a org carved jade at like 10 Australian or 9 Australian dollars, and they're what are they now? 25 Australian. Like the return on that's been really nice. The Bengal Tigers were sitting around 30 to 40, and now they're about 70. Like the returns on just Operation Skins have already been really, really good. Um, in saying that, I also think we're hitting a bit of a slump right now while everyone's sort of waiting. No one's doing much in the way of buying.
Yeah, I was planning on selling my skins around this time, but these prices, like, I expected these kind of prices by the end of this year, hype or not, so I'm just gonna hold on to them.
Yeah. Oh.
There's always a chance Valve could bring them back, but I don't see them doing that. They're obviously trying to build people's confidence in that every operations items are exclusive, and you should buy the pass to not miss out, you know?
Yeah, something that like not repeating Norse and St. Mark and Canals has given in like players and investors a more of a reason to buy and play the operations, which is what Valve wants. Valve wants
Yeah,
us
and
to
same
buy
for
the
the casual
operation.
players. They feel like they're getting rewarded with something unique every time.
Yeah, they're not getting something that's been recycled a whole bunch. Like I always draw similarities to Magic the Gathering because I've spent many years playing and investing in that. But there are times when people get upset at Wizards because everything just feels the same. They put out too much that feels the same, and so people leave. No, the casual players, the one that buy the most stuff, don't actually don't actually buy anything
Yeah,
because they've already got it all.
yeah, that's how I felt this when Operation Hydra came around. Once again, same collections for what, fifth time?
Yeah.
I remember quitting CSGO around that time and going into PUBG.
Oh man.
But I'm thank God they finally started adding new collections. Even outside operations, the first sign that they were gonna start bringing something new is when the London Major happened and they brought two new collections, Inferno and Nuke 2018. That was quite a refreshing to see.
Yeah. Uh, I haven't been in CS as long as that, but I've gone back and looked at some of the history of some of these items, and it's really really cool to see the different collections and how they've released them. It's always felt like a really long time for people um, in between any major updates, but I think that in a way that's really really good um, because you're not getting an oversaturation in the market for pretty well anything. Or
Yeah.
Enkari asks a really interesting question for us is are we ready to lose everything if Valve dumps on CSGO? For me,
Well, I started with nothing and
yeah,
already cashed out 20K, so I would say that's fine by me.
yeah,
I came out with something at least by this point.
yeah. I've
I understand if they have to oblige by some legality or new laws that may come around about loot boxes and gambling. I understand the risk. I know everything. Like all these items could just disappear the next day with a press of a button. Valve can do whatever they want. They're a private company.
yep,
You always have to take that in consideration. You're never 100% safe. This is not like stock market. This is just some virtual cosmetics.
The risk that's why the returns are so different here compared to stocks. Stocks, you're happy with your 10% to 15% a year. That's really, really good. Uh, but in CS, you look at 10 to 15% and you go, all right, cool, that barely covers my fees. That's not very
Yeah,
much. And that's
it's
for a
just
year.
boring.
Yeah. And I can see why someone that's invested a lot into CS finds stocks and such
Yeah,
boring.
that's another reason I wouldn't go into stocks. Like I feel so spoiled by this point with CS:GO's profits that I would go into stock market, get 15% back. Like, really? That's it?
Yeah.
Where's the crazy stonks?
The
What's the
crazy
fun in that?
stocks that I've learned that the crazy stonks aren't going to happen for at least 10 years. That's when the interest starts to really build. And then you just go parabolic from there. Ooh, Contra was bring up a very interesting point about China. China has been a big factor in the last year or two with CS. So China's banned crypto not too long ago, and they've just hit their people with a mining ban on crypto, seizing 90% of the mines. Do we think this is a big impact towards the CS market, either positive or negatively, considering they use crypto to trade skins?
But do any crypto, so I'm not educated to really speak on
Uh,
that topic.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh, for myself, I'm not huge on crypto, but my thoughts would be they'd be using their crypto to purchase CS items. Same thing that happened again with Magic the Gathering and Reserve List. You have um, you have a whole bunch of people wanting to cash out their crypto into something that's more safe and secure. In Magic the Gathering, that's the Reserve List, and in CS, that'll be our mid to higher tier items, Orb Asimovs, that going all the way up to your Gungnir's and Wild Lotuses, uh, just as a store of value until they get another buying opportunity in another bull market in crypto, which they'll sell them, purchase their crypto back, ride that wave again, and rinse and repeat for money. Um, do Jehu, who's that question pointed at? Do we invest in other things other than CS:GO? So myself, I invest primarily into ETFs, so stocks. Uh, that's where. So I'm the boring man. Roadrunner's the Mister Excitement. Loves the CS profits. It's great. I'm Mister Boomer who will just is happy with my 10 to 15% for most of my investments. That's going to eventually create a cash flow for me when I get older. And Roadrunner, do you invest in anything outside of like the CS and PUBG?
PUBG? No, not anymore. But I still do TF2 on the side. Yeah, it's a really small market compared to CS:GO, and things go slow, but you can make good money if you know what to buy. There's still life left in that market.
I think some people are underestimating the TF2 market in some ways. They still have 100,000 people playing every day. Like,
Yeah, definitely. Just
it's
look at some of the older TF2 cases and how much they went up over the years. For
yeah,
example, look at the confidential case. It was 3 cents back in 2015, and now it's $3.
yeah, it's there is definitely money to be made there. There are more and more people still playing TF2. People are coming back to it and going, "Oh, my stuff's worth money. Oh, let's sell it and then make more money
Yeah,
because
and
this is fun. This game is fun. I'm gonna buy more things, and it just creates more profit for people, and then more people play it. The game is still fun. Apparently, I've never actually played TF2. Of all the games I've never played, TF2 is one of them. Oh, so I don't have
yeah, and
much
the
knowledge.
TF2's got a really interesting dynamic where they have these events such as Halloween when people go crazy opening cases because that's the only time you can get new exclusive effects for about 2 or 3 weeks. And now they actually started doing the same for Christmas. So now we have 2 events a year where people go crazy on opening cases because of exclusive effects on their rare special items.
Yeah.
So that really helps push the demand and lower the supply.
Yeah. Um, Something that has brought up on a separate note about day trading, 0.5% of day traders actually make money. That's about correct. If you do 100 trades where you lose $20, where one side you lose $20, the other side you gain $20, you need to perform really, really well to get any kind of profit for the whole day of trading. Uh, yes, I see this slight side chat going on regarding things. Ask ask us a couple more questions. I'm going to move us just quickly into our case of the week to open, which our lovely Roadrunner has decided to choose for us. What case have you picked for us today, my friend, to open?
Yes, CS20 because of the classic knife. I started playing CS 1.6 back in like 2009. You know, the good old childhood, going to internet cafe with your friends, doing 1.6 LAN
Yep.
on iconic maps, Assault, Mansion,
Yep.
good times.
Now,
It was a
uh,
it was a big thing in Russia and many other countries too.
yeah. Now, this case will not be able to be seen live due to our podcast chat. It will be going up into the onto the YouTube VOD, which you'll be able to see when I link this episode on its release day. So, one single CS20 case. What do you think we're going to get? It's probably going to be a blue, but
It'll be a Glock. It's always a Glock.
it's always a Glock. All right, let's
I've
see.
tried opening those. I really wanted that knife.
Oh,
Never got
I
one
would
from them.
love one of those knives.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
famous
could just buy it,
decommissioned.
but there's no fun in that.
I know. There's not quite as much fun as actually opening something. Uh, it's got the famous decommissioned in field tested. Not even good field tested. That's okay. CS20 propaganda. People say
Yeah,
CS20
just
is
a disclaimer, I did invest in CS20. So just putting it out there, I'm not trying to manipulate.
yeah. Like I've only got a thousand or 1,500 cases of CS20. Nothing massive. No massive supply. I really like the case, but I've also uh, bought in quite early. Um,
Xanax asks, is it currently a good time to invest in CS? I'm personally just laying low. I have some old buy orders filling in, but I think I'm gonna wait. I'm
yeah,
mostly trying right now to get Steam Vault ready for the Stockholm Major when items are gonna dip in price because of new stickers.
yeah. I'm kind of the same at the moment. Like, there's been so many good buying opportunities that I've sunk money into. I'm ready to just let it sit, mature, get ready to sell, and have more funds um, for Stockholm for future majors. I would like to put in another probably $500 into Stockholm when that pops around. At least would be nice.
Yeah, I'll probably skip it. Maybe I'll buy some ancient packages. We'll see what kind of system Valve introduces for redeeming packages
Yeah,
and whether there'll be different prices for each tier.
yeah. Um, so Rage FD asks us as well. Would there be a risk for us to holding RMR at this point? Don't really seem to be dropping much. You could see this; it slow down the growth. I think your
Well,
risk with RMR is opportunity cost. So you're sacrificing a potentially faster growing investment for holding RMR.
yeah, well, I'm biased against this. I hate RMR, but I'd say if you have something like 15-cent Navi papers, you probably have better odds of making more profit if you put that into chroma-free cases instead or something like that, around the same price.
Yeah, I I've almost finished my buy order. I got 3 cent Australian Navi papers, RMR papers. They've been slowly filling in, and that's already 5x money, 5x profit on what their current price is. So I'm I'm happy with whatever they do. I'm happy to sit them in a hole and let them mature for a while.
Yeah, they'll definitely use the new system because when RMR stickers came out, they actually revamped some of the code for in-game store, and they renamed the tournament store to Operation Tournament Store. So I would definitely expect a more similar format to Broken Fang. Who
Yeah.
knows, maybe every tournament item will be purchasable with so-called souvenir tokens. Maybe even the stickers will be purchasable with tokens. Basically, like this,
Oh,
the tokens will become the balance, and you
imagine
can buy capsules and team patches with that balance.
that. Just the changes for this to the market will be interesting. I think the way that they introduced Stockholm is going to be very, very different. RMR was its own event with the gold stickers, but going from Stockholm, as long as Stockholm has nice stickers, it'll be all right. The packages I'm excited to invest in.
Yeah, definitely looking to open some ancient packages.
Yeah, get a welcome to the jungle souvenir factory new. Whoa, would be nice.
Yeah, we've seen discussion around ancient collection, how much it will be affected by the release of a souvenir counterpart. Definitely going to be a dip short term, but long term, souvenirs cannot be traded up, so the normal ancient collection still has that going for it, which
Yeah,
is the main reason I invested into it.
look at it, like if people don't people have very short memories. They You look at the cobblestone collection. Sure, the souvenirs can be worth a lot more because you can't trade them up. That does has not stopped the normal collection actually going up at all. The actual collection, like the hand cannons and such, are and the knights all have appreciated in value much more than other people would think. So it's definitely something worth investing in, even if there's a dip. If we get this ancient collection and you get a dip of 30-40%, because people go, oh, it's the end of the world for ancient. Ancient is non-investable. I'm just gonna happily come on in and pick some more up.
Yeah, you know what they say, buy the dip.
Yeah, buy what people are pooping on. Pretty much, people don't like a lot of
Yeah, like
things.
the main reason Ancient's so expensive because it's got a covert and the chances of opening a covert is so low that there won't be nearly as many souvenir ones opened. Welcome to the jungles to affect the price of the regular one, and therefore it won't affect anything below it long term.
Yeah. Oh, Rage actually brings up a really interesting point. We actually have everything to craft a souvenir skin ourselves. Like we have team golds, we have autograph golds. We can basically make our own souvenir that we trade up to.
Mm. I'm not sure about that. I felt like souvenirs are basically designed to give you quote unquote gold stickers for free on your skin.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. Anything could happen. It's Valve after all.
It is Valve. It is Valve can do amazing things for the market and terrible things for the market. The
Yeah, actually, speaking of golden stickers, you know how every tournament capsule has a tournament logo in it as a possible sticker?
Yeah,
Well, here's the thing about RMR. I guess something RMR investors would want to hear. I think RMR capsules will be the only ones to not have a tournament logo sticker in it, meaning you have a slightly higher chance of getting better golds.
that is
Just a small thought.
that is true. I haven't thought about that for now That is a very very interesting point. Hmm. There's there's opportunities everywhere in CS. There's opportunities everywhere to make money. You just got to sort of find one, sit on it for a while, and just wait till it turns that profit.
Yeah, when you really know the market, it's like everything looks like to you, oh, this will make me money, but it's not it becomes not about what will make me money, but what will make me most money in the shortest amount of time. That's how I usually pick my investments.
Yeah, I once for myself, I I learnt and taught myself how to be financially literate. Now, money is a whole different ball game for me. Uh, my whole purpose for earning money, not my whole purpose, but I use my money now to work for me a lot harder than I can work to earn more money. So, like, eventually I'm going to get to the point that no matter how hard I work, I will never earn as much as what my investments give me. That's my end goal, which is going to be quite a few years away. We'll see how CS goes. Does anyone else have any other questions for us that would like to ask us through the podcast chat? Do you have any other points that you'd like to bring up for people, Roadrunner, that like more beginner advice?
Yeah, going into the next major, definitely don't just jump right into any type of item because the previous version went up in price. You need to realize why it went in price. Was it underinvested? Was the sale short? Like these details are important. Don't just buy something because it was successful in the past. It doesn't ensure that it will be successful next time. That was
Yeah,
kind of the cycle with majors. Like you would have one successful major and then the other one failed. Like if team capsules worked one major, next one they would be overinvested and something else worked out instead, and that thing would be overinvested. The major after that, it's kind of like a cycle. You just keep going between the items.
yeah.
But for Burn, it looked like everything was overinvested across the board.
Now, something from Contra that's something that um, he wants to know about is you. I take it you have quite a few alt accounts which hold items, correct?
I did, but thank God they added storage units so I could just use those instead.
Nice. So he's asking, is the max balance $2,000 per across all of your alternate accounts that are attached to one phone number, or can you top up more on alternates with the same phone number? And so have say if you have say 10 accounts, you could put 20 grand on for the one
It's
phone
actually
number.
2000 per account. But what's interesting in the Valve's TOS, it says it should be $2, 2000 maximum across all your accounts, but I guess they just don't enforce that.
Ah, they just like taking our money.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Yeah, growling and rage bring up good points that selling buying right now has is very choppy if you're not holding for the long term. So someone was trying to recommend buying consumer grade controls because it's dipped. Um, we'll see how we go with consumer grade controls. Just operation skins in general. Control, I'm just not a fan of control personally, uh, but but that's just me. You may be a fan of it. I do hope you earn money. I do hope people make money from this, from everything that they do. I hope people make money because that's what we're all here for. Nobody's here because we want to lose money, says the guy that opens a case every week, at least one. Well, Roadrunner, I think this has been a very successful podcast. I want to
Yeah, I
thank
think
you.
so too.
I want to thank you so very much for coming and being on with me. Thank you for taking the time to come and spend time and chat with me here.
No problem. Thanks for having me here.
I was meant to
It was
ask you how a couple of other questions like how you got started with the server, but I guess we can do that. Cover that in about 5 minutes, surely. Uh, how did you start with this server?
Was this server?
Yeah,
I was actually invited right before it went public.
really.
Yeah, I was in communications with some moderators before the server even was made.
Yeah.
We had like a private Steam group where we would chat about things.
Ah, and that's what sort of led into this. So you've been here since the start. You've seen the growth from 0 to 10K.
Yeah, but I don't really chat much in here.
Uh, that's understandable though. Uh, chatting with 10,000 people watching can be a bit daunting, and information is precious. Well, sir, thank you very much again for coming on. Thank you everyone for coming and listening live. I will be uploading this on the weekend. It's currently what day is it? It is Monday, nearly Tuesday. I'm like 2 minutes to Tuesday. So I'll be uploading this on the weekend. Those of you that are listening on YouTube, chuck us a like, chuck us a subscribe. Thank you all for coming and listening. You can come and join the Discord. If you have found me on YouTube, come and join the Discord. I've posted a link in the description. Thank you so much again, everyone, for coming. I hope this has been educational for you. If you have topics or questions, feel free to ping me, and we can always bring them up on future episodes. Thank you again to Roadrunner. You've been an absolutely wonderful guest. Absolutely phenomenal. Very easy to talk to. Very, very kind person to come and chat to us, and have everything recorded.
Yeah, and thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely no worries at all. Thank you everyone for listening. I will see you all next week. I believe the next episode is going to be live on the 30th. I'm still trying to find my next guest. I haven't quite got that lined up yet, but we will see how we go. I will update the message in pinned regarding the schedule. Thanks everyone for coming to listen to Positive EV, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.